This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello, boys and girls. Today's episode of Cloverfeels is brought to you by Tidal. Now, Tidal is a global entertainment platform built for fans directly from artists around the world. Tidal members enjoy exclusively curated content that directly connects artists with their fans. Tidal aims to provide members with the best content exclusively, whether it's a new album, music video, live stream, interactive experience, or chance to win tickets to concerts and events. Tidal and artist owner Lil Wayne are partnering to promote community service among college students by rewarding them for making an impact in their communities. Come on, you can't beat that. Now, through the end of the month, any undergrad college student at a 4-year university can participate in Tidal College's Social Wave for Change to win a Lil Wayne concert near his or her school. How cool is that? Is your college making a difference in your community? Well, share your community service photos or videos to Instagram or Tidal's Facebook page. Use the hashtag TidalXChange. That's hashtag TIDALXChange, the letter X, and then change, for a chance to have Lil Wayne perform at your school. Now, to enter, students can post a photo or video on Instagram or Tidal's Facebook of them completing some kind of community service using hashtag TIDAL, the letter X, and change. A panel of judges will choose the finalists, and then the public will get to vote on the winner. See, guys, it's just like a democracy. Finalists will get a Tidal silent disco event at their school, and the winner will receive the Lil Wayne concert. That's a big deal. That's like in the 80s movie when you were the coolest kid in school because you brought the freaking band to the party. So go to Tidal.com or check out Tidal's social channels for more information. And just in case you forgot what they are, it's at Tidal on Instagram, that's TIDAL, and at TIDAL Hi-Fi on Twitter. That's Tidal Hi-Fi on Twitter. And now, without further ado, I present to you in Cloverfeels. Cloverfields.
Zoom, boom, zoom, boom,
Cloverfields. Guys, welcome to Cloverfields. Man, it's been a little while. I was ill, and Mike Falzone was not. And a lot has happened. The Super Bowl happened.
Yeah.
Woo! Go Tigers!
Congratulations to the Cincinnati Tigers.
The Chicago Bulls fought against the Cincinnati Tigers,
Cincinnati
and
Giants.
only one came out a winner. But that doesn't matter. That's not. Well, this isn't a game ball podcast.
No.
This is a Cloverfield podcast.
Yeah.
And there was a 10 Cloverfield Lane teaser trailer that played during the Super Bowl.
And you guys sent it to us 75 times.
Thank you for that. There was a moment that we didn't know it was up. And then there
we
was,
definitely knew.
There was no way we weren't going to know because everybody was like, did you see? Did you see?
And I actually didn't watch the Super Bowl, so I saw it via whoever said that first.
Yeah, no, I wasn't watching it either. I don't care about football at all, and as I'm sure you already knew from our snarky bit about football and who was playing.
Was that not who was really playing? The Tigresses didn't take it to the house?
I didn't find out who won, and I didn't watch the game, and I didn't know the trailer was popping up. But my buddy Richard, who's a very good friend of mine from way back, texted me, and I was like, holy shit, where is it? And it had just come out on the TVs. So there was no way for me to see it. So I had to sit around until someone tweeted me the link to the trailer.
Wish they did.
But Mike,
yes,
you saw it.
I did see it.
I saw it.
I just saw it again just now to refresh myself.
I haven't watched it again, but I do want to talk about it a lot. I want to talk about how I'm sorry I was ill and I was unable to we were unable to put this podcast out Monday. But you know what's okay? We were able to get Chelsea's awesome podcast out with special guest Chelsea Dunaway, who talked about the ARG. And if you guys haven't listened to that one, you should definitely do that because Chelsea, first of all, is a real treat. Mm-hmm. And second of all, she was a part of the original Cloverfield ARG, and that's so rad. Yeah,
so you get a little behind the scenes there as to how that whole thing works and how, like, kind of what her day-to-day was like while she was working on that whole thing.
Amen. Mm-hmm. And so I'm a little sick too, so please forgive my sniffles. I'm trying my best not to be gross, and I apologize. So, all right, well, let's dig right in. Before we start talking about the trailer and dissecting that, let's jump into some tweets and questions. All right.
I'm so happy I remembered that.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me that you remembered.
It's a good bit, man. It's a solid bit.
At Griffin Loves You on the Twitters tweeted at me, 2 Leel boys talking about a Leel man in a Leel bunker that he built because he's a Leel paranoid.
He's a little bit more than a Leel paranoid.
Nice work, Griffin. You rock.
Yeah.
And actually, I want to take a moment to read an email I got.
Okay. From John Goodman? From RadioMan?
From John's Goods.
From my good friend RadioMan.
Sorry.
Oh my God, I was just about to cough at the same time. We both can't cough, so I'm going to live with it.
Okay, so I got an email. The other day from Heather Nicole Claypool.
Okay, she sounds like a supermodel from 1987.
Well, if she is, then she's packing a big punch here because she's pretty funny too. I laughed a lot at this email.
I like it.
The subject is Cloverfeels SOS. I'm not creative, but I like my boyfriend, okay? This is all still the subject. Here's the body of the email. Your body is an email. Sorry, I'm also kind of like fixing our levels and shit too if people are too loud and shit. Hello, Steve. I got a Twitter so I could send a message to Cloverfeels, but then I was sorely reminded that you only have a certain amount of characters on that piece of shit. So now I am emailing you because I'm a dingus. My boyfriend listens to Cloverfields and the 4 episodes religiously and loves you on SourceFed, especially as Santa, which I too love.
Which I despise.
Thank you. I think that's great. Also, it's interesting that you're like, my boyfriend listens to Cloverfields, but you don't give a shit about
she won't.
Cloverfields.
Yeah.
You don't listen to it. It's okay. You're funny, Heather. You get away with it.
Yeah.
Heather says, and by the way, you're a fucking fantastic girlfriend for doing this for your boyfriend.
Yeah.
She says, I'm wondering if you can give him a shout out or some shit on Cloverfields or something. His name is Jack Isbill. By the way, Heather Isbill? I don't think so.
Yeah, you're gonna want to get out of that.
You're gonna want to get out ASAP.
Yeah, that's what we'll do for you.
Yeah.
We'll break up. We'll destroy your relationship.
Hey,
and
Jack.
the only person that'll hear it is Jack, unfortunately, because your girlfriend doesn't give a shit about this.
Jack, I'm so sorry, but you have a bad last name, and Heather doesn't want that in her life.
Have you thought about changing your last name?
My name is Jack Isbill.
Dude, I bet he's 6'4", and he can beat the shit
Oh,
out
he's
of
probably
all
gonna.
of us.
I spit on you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's all the way over here. Okay, everybody, this is Mike Malzone, the only surviving member of this particular podcast. And I guess we're going to run down the trailer, okay?
Forgive me for
Oh, he's alive.
I'm fine. Thank you for worrying. Forgive me for getting a little seabed nectar on your arm. Right from my lung. Some Steve bed nectar.
Is it still there?
Some Steve bed. No, I don't know. I'm sorry. His name is Jack Isbill. And
Good
if you
bit.
could call him a Bringus, that would be great.
Dude, that's definitely like their on the couch name for each other.
Bringus,
That's their Netflix
I love
name.
it so much.
You want to watch
happy.
The Office, Bringus? I like it. This is adorable, and we're such a deep-seated part of their relationship now and forever.
Yeah, we're in. We're part of their lives.
Yeah.
And I'm very honored.
I hope you guys love each other right until you're about to get married, and then you realize the whole name thing, and then you go your
Heather,
separate ways.
Even like your last name's awesome, by the way, Claypool. But
she also has too many names. Is also
Heather Nicole Claypool.
If I could play devil's advocate, too many names.
No,
there.
I agree. And there's nothing she can do about it. But and I'm sorry for that. And I really do feel for her. But listen, Heather, if you go with Nicole Isbill, not feeling it.
You'd have to be meaner. It sounds like a meaner person's name.
How about this? Heather Nicole Isbill.
Yeah.
Let me try this again. Heather Nicole Isbill Claypool. Too much.
Too British, I think. Too British?
Maybe they're British.
I hope so. This is not an Italian person.
If they're British, then this girl needs to just come live over here and be on our podcast.
Yeah, and get rid of some of the names.
Yeah, get rid of those boys' names.
Your dealer's choice, you get rid of 3 names. Any of the 3 names. Out of the 6 that
Okay.
you now have.
Anyway, his name is Jack Isbell, and if you could call him a Bringus, that would be great. You'd be my true Valentine if this were to happen. Stay golden, Ponyboy, Heather Claypool.
She's so good.
She's great. She's hilarious. Nice work. So, Heather, yes, I will do that. Hey, Jack Isbell, you're a Bringus.
Classic Bringus.
Total Bringus. Thank you for listening to our show. Sorry for making fun of your last name, sort of.
Yeah. Also, if you're big and have muscles, please don't bring us the ruckus. That was the last one. That was the last one for me.
And guess what? Getting a little clingy. She sent another email right after.
Too many.
Yeah.
Drop another name.
And she says, we also went to World Market last night to try the Swamp Pops. My pomegranate flavor was for sure ungood, but it was all for the love of Cloverfeels.
Oh, good. Now I hope she listens out of obligation.
Thank you, Heather, for sending me that email. It was very sweet and hilarious, and you gave Mike and I a good couple of chucks.
Classic. We're stacking chucks over here.
We're stacking chucks, and we got nowhere to place them. We don't have enough Tupperware. Oh my goodness, someone sent me. Sorry, this is kind of dumb. No, it's not dumb, but this might take a second. But someone left me a message on my Facebook.
Fan
page. Shit, where do I go to find
I would
that?
totally help you stretch this out if I knew what was happening right now. I'd be like, yes, and this is happening, and he is going to find it. Once he finds it, he is going to tell you about it.
What is that app called where you can read your messages, your Facebook messages?
Just
there it is, mentions.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a message on my mentions. Also, guys, we have another special guest here other than Owen Carter, who you'll hear from time to time. But someone else is sitting at the table with us who will only say one thing at any time, and here's what it is. Mr. Grumpy Pants is on our table.
It's great input.
It's the super cool Mattel Maddie collector's figure of Clovey that comes
This
with
is a
two
Mattel
heads.
thing? I would have thought this was like a McFarlane
No,
joint.
Mattel, Maddie Collector used to do adult collector toys, and they made things like this that weren't for kids. And so it's this big posable Mr. Grumpy Pants that comes with two heads, and then little Statue of Liberty. And then inside this one interchangeable head, there's a bunch of little parasites.
Awesome.
Anyway, okay, so this message comes from Whitney Marie Nowick. And she says, #Cloverfeels. Hey, Steve, I'm in love with your Cloverfeels podcast. I'm kind of the only movie nerd in my group of friends who could spend hours talking about movies. And now my two favorite YouTubers are doing just that about one of my favorite movies.
Oh, shit.
Isn't that nice?
Mr. Grumpy Pants is your favorite YouTuber?
She's talking about you and me, Mike.
Oh, thank you.
Don't be cheeky.
I need it.
So listen to this. She says, so thing is, I'm a professional baker and cake decorator for a living.
Oh, no.
Ooh, now you're listening, Mike.
Fondant. I had to text my fiance so she knew that I wasn't dead yet.
Ooh, sorry, fans of the podcast. Mike Falzone is taken.
That's okay. Why would you apologize if I was?
I really wanted to make something for you guys for no other reason than to show you my appreciation for the giggles you guys give me.
That's beautiful.
But is that a thing you guys find weird? I was thinking some kind of sugar cookies, quote-unquote Cloverfeels related, or cookies of your faces or something. And then she said, would that freak you guys out? I've never sent any fan mail stuff. She was going to send it to the SourceFed P.O. Box, which is the best
sends
way.
It in an envelope. By the time it comes, it's just crumbs.
Oh, it's all destroyed. But basically she says, anyway, I love the podcast, which could last forever. You and Mike have a specific kind of humor that I haven't really heard anywhere else, and it gives me good moods.
Oh, man.
Okay, you're the best, Steve, and Mike is cool too. Bye, Whitney, Miss Whitnam. And I said, you're adorable.
Thank you very much, Whitney.
So she's going to send us a bunch of Cloverfeels.
That would be awesome.
Cookies. It would be really cool if there was like a Mr. Grumpy Pants, and if there was like, I mean, I don't know, whatever. You make us whatever you want. I don't want.
Yeah, no suggestions. You let the artist work.
Yeah,
please send me a pound of fondant.
Send me a pound of cheese. You want a pound of fondant?
I want it to be
just
shaped
to chew
like
on?
cheese.
By the way, I like that we say fondant. It's probably fondant, but that motherfucker on that Cake Boss show always said fondant. So I think we'll always call it fondant.
It sounds French, like it would be fondant.
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 Oh. Mike, you want to read some tweets?
I had a couple. Oh, my favorite one so far, I got to see who it was from, but it was the person who made the Spling Ding meme.
Spling Ding. Oh, yeah, someone took Spling Ding.
Which was, of course, the generic doorbell sound that everyone knows and loves, and made it into a, like somebody rang the doorbell in the first picture of the picture set, and it says Spling Ding, and then that person enters the party, Rob's going away party. Like, who is it?
I love it, because it's also a picture of Mr. Grumpy Pants, isn't it?
Is it? I can't. I'm trying desperately to find it right now.
Yeah, it's got Mr. Grumpy Pants. It's just really funny. We'll try. I think the Cloverfield's official Twitter account retweeted it. But really quick, if you guys want to send Mike and I some stuff, which I'm not saying send us some stuff, so we're not trying to be greedy or anything.
But if you want to, because clearly people already have the need to bake our faces.
If sweet, awesome Whitney wants to make us some baked goods,
God, we'd appreciate it.
then you guys can send us some stuff too if you'd like. Perhaps some in-game stuff you might get your mitts on, or something you want to do that might be game jacky, or
maybe you can send us some puzzle pieces because
we're bored.
Pop didn't. Well, I looked through the
box.
Did you
look through it and there were no pieces? Those fucks.
But
maybe they knew.
It's kind of karma because I did say some things about the taste.
Well,
but
you were the one on board still. I was the one that was saying mean stuff.
But I was just being honest.
Anyway, so the SourceFed P.O. Box, which is where that's our day job, is attention SourceFed, 6433 Topanga Canyon Boulevard, number 805. Canoga Park, California, 91303. So
that would be awesome.
If you want to send us some stuff.
And if not, we'll like you just the same as we like you right now.
Yeah, no,
which is a lie. I also said white now. Because I have a little baby speech impediment for some reason.
This is what I want to say.
Go ahead.
Sending us stuff is not going to make you more or less of our favorite fans.
Well, definitely speak for yourself, but I know where you're going with this for sure.
But sending us stuff will definitely make us like you more.
Okay, well, great. Then we ended up at the same place. Especially if there's no poison in that stuff.
Okay. Please don't poison us.
Just please don't.
So Brian Chuck Brennan tweeted at us at Brian_Brennan. Things are happening on the Fun and Pretty Things website. New message from Howard, and the link from the first message now works.
Which is how I found out about the new message, and then you read it to me.
And which is also how I know my ABCs.
Awesome. BVDs. Do you remember BVDs? Anyway, listen, I haven't had a lot of time to go on the Reddit and to go searching around putting pieces together myself as far as this whole puzzly-airy thing goes. So I've been getting a lot of my information from you guys, and you've been populating our Twitter and stuff like that, the Cloverfeels Twitter. So thank you very much for sending all that stuff, because you've been educating me this week, and then I got to dedicate some time to dive deep. Here we go, getting all wet.
And we will get into the new stuff going on in Fun and Pretty Things, but let's get through these tweets, and then we'll talk about the trailer, and then we'll get to Fun and Pretty Things.
Sure.
Sven at Alex_Bones on the Twitter says, I'm going to be real sad when this podcast inevitably ends. Hashtag Cloverfeels at Cloverfeels at Steve Zergos at Mike Falzone. Look, I don't want this podcast to end either. And some have suggested some pretty interesting stuff, like you should just turn this into a general movie podcast once it's over.
I don't like any movies as much as I like Cloverfield.
I don't like any movies.
Good point.
So I don't think we could do that. B, I don't know. Would it work to continue a podcast called Cloverfields where we talk about, the new Star Wars movies coming out? I don't think so.
I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't listen to it personally.
If Paramount decides to turn Cloverfield into an anthology series of some sort, and they make a bunch of Cloverfield movies, then what will happen is the Cloverfields podcast will probably lie dormant.
Sure. They'll
probably go to sleep, or the seabed nectar lie.
Yeah, until a satellite hits us in the Johnson.
Right, and when that happens, we'll come back and we'll talk. In fact, look, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. There's probably going to be press events, and 10 Cloverfield Lane will come out on DVD eventually, DVD and Blu-ray. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about special features. We'll talk about everything. There's still a lot to talk about.
Here's the thing. You can't be sad about something just because it's going away, okay? Some of you have an old dog, and you're like, hey, Betsy's going to kick off pretty soon. But you know what? Betsy still makes her ass available on the couch for you to snuggle while you're watching Netflix. Netflix and shit like that. So you gotta appreciate every Thursday night you're snuggling with Betsy, not the fact that she's probably gonna die.
At Kawaii Llama 98, Ashley Spooks says, #Cloverfeels is probably my new favorite podcast. Yay! Thank you.
Thank you very
Ashley,
much.
You're the best.
Also, why do you not listen to any other podcasts?
At Shay9,
I could give you some suggestions.
At Shay935, Shaylee Sebold asks or says, ever since I read that message in the source code, I'm terrified that John Goodman is around every corner waiting to take me out. #Cloverfields.
You know, it's a real fear.
And it's a fear people had even before 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
John Goodman.
What is that called again when you have that fear of John Goodman?
John Goodmanarium. John Goodmanarium.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm working on my pronunciation YouTube channel.
I think it's fondant.
John Goodmanarium. Mr. Going with the Flow at Mr. Going with the Flow says, thanks to the 10 Cloverfield Lane ARG for giving me anxiety attacks.
Getting real nervous about it.
And then another tweet, shout out to Cloverfields for keeping me informed in the game. Megan at OvoMegXO says, I continue to listen to every episode of Cloverfields even though I have no fucking clue what they're talking about. Megan...
Can you imagine listening to this podcast and not
There
knowing?
are people who have been tweeting at me.
I can imagine it.
Yeah, but Owen, at least you've seen Cloverfield. Some people have tweeted at me going like, I've never seen Cloverfield. Should I listen to your podcast?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
No, the answer is no.
Just watch Cloverfield.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to anyone that's happening with right now.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, it's weird because it is a very niche podcast. And, it's weird that you guys are actually listening and we have sponsors and stuff and it's on HeadGum. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And,
it's become a thing.
It's becoming a thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Normally podcasts about one thing don't do very well.
Yeah, well, we're ending it before that happens, so we'll be all right.
Ellis Pearson at Ellis Pearson 57 says, Steve Zaragoza, Mike Falzone had a dream last night that Clovey had John Goodman's face. Need to stop listening to Cloverfields before bed. And finally, at Karen and Kenta, Jan Bun at Miku Expo NYC says, Cloverfields is the shit. Listen to them if you ever need a simple, funny way to know what's going on. Cloverfields.
Dude, I love the phrase John Goodman's face. Oh, there it is.
Me too. John Goodman's face should be a band name.
Yes, it should. If you have a band out there right now, I've been doing this # free band name suggestions on my Twitter.
Oh, that's cool. I want to join in. Can I join in?
100%. Anyone can. You
Great.
Listening right now, everybody can do it.
Use the
John
hashtag.
Goodman's face. The hashtag is # free band name suggestions.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're saying they should use the hashtag... Or they should use the
band name.
The band name.
John Goodman's face.
Yeah.
I would go see, I don't care if I hated your music. I would go see every show.
So we found the meme that Mike was talking about. It's from Dominic Paoletti at Dark Knight DVP24.
Thank you, Italian kid. Go ahead.
I'm going to interrupt for a second, and if it's bad, you can edit it out.
Okay.
And start back over with this thing.
Okay.
Okay. If everyone listening who is like musically capable in any way or not,
no, Owen's doing a call out. This is Owen, by the way.
This is an O to action. Right
Get
now.
closer to that mic, sweetheart.
Yeah, you gotta kiss
Okay,
it.
okay.
I'll get closer too. I'm sorry. I'll back up while you're trying to.
Okay. What if everyone out there wrote a song inspired by Cloverfield or the ARG or anything in some way? Everyone writes and records their own song, and we put them all out under the band name John Goodman's face.
Oh, okay. Owen
we would instantly have an album.
Yeah, so Owen was suggesting
I bet we
a
could
while
get a good,
back.
like 10 or 12 tracks. I bet.
Owen and I are very musical people, and in fact, Mike Falzone is as well. But Owen and I make up the Steve Zaragoza band that will eventually put out the Animals album, which I don't know what the name of the band is. I just called it that. There is no band.
I think it's just your name.
It's just my name, and you're my keyboardist / co-writer and shit like that.
I'm also there.
Owen's also part of the Animals album when we eventually release it. If you know about any of my dumb source-fed shit or my personal stuff, you know that I'm making an Animals album that'll probably never come out. But Owen and I talk about making music all the time, and Owen was like, we gotta make a theme song to Cloverfeels so that we don't keep using that song, even though I fucking love it, and I'd rather use that because that's a good song. But Owen was saying, like, we should do a theme song that's like something unrelated to something unspecifically related to Cloverfield. Like, we could call it like the song could be called Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
Or it could be called like, you know, Seabed or like Under the Seabed or something.
Yeah.
Like, whatever, some dumb shit like that. And the song would be
Fizz.
Right, yeah. Or Pomegranate. We could call it Pomegranate, and we could just sing whatever, and it would be the theme song. But now Owen's saying, because I don't like that idea very much, because I'd like to keep the cool theme we have, but Owen's saying, if you guys are musically inclined, and you guys want to make a fun little...
We have to do it too, though.
Oh, God.
We contribute a song, just like everybody else.
All right, maybe.
I see the appeal.
Well, clearly ours will be better, though.
Well, but we also don't even have to try that hard.
Well, look, if you guys want to send us a 3 to 6 second piece of music to be a potential intro to the podcast.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, it's not what you're saying? Oh, you're just saying we'd make a John Goodman's Face album.
Everybody...
I think my idea is funner.
Oh, well, it's quick. I want a whole album that you guys will like. There could be a band called John
Okay,
Goodman's
so
Face.
Owen's
Are
saying...
you going to listen to this? Are you going to drive around Los Angeles?
No, what Owen's saying
if
is...
everybody does this.
Yeah, Owen's
That's
saying
true.
everybody should write, all of our listeners who are musically inclined, should write a song based on Cloverfield.
Jam it
Just
out.
some
Just
aspect
jam
of it.
something out related to Cloverfield, and then we'll put all the tracks together with our own track.
Put it
and
up
we'll
for
call
like a free download.
Yeah,
somewhere?
we'll call the band John Goodman's Face.
I like that.
Everybody can upload it to YouTube. Just make sure you have it as the band is John Goodman's.
So we're all in the same band now.
Yes, all
John
of our
Goodman's Face.
listeners and everything.
We can have an album by Monday.
Kind of cool. Oh God.
Realistically, yes.
No one's
Who's the guy that did all of Michael Jackson's albums? Produced all of Michael Jackson's albums?
Quincy Jones?
Yeah, Quincy Jones
Yeah.
is spinning in his grave right now.
Nobody's ever done this.
Okay.
I know of.
But also, if you don't want to do that, I would love to hear your guys' intro music options too,
Yeah.
and then we could use those as the intro to the show. That'd be fun, right?
Sure.
All right. Thank you for the tweets. If you want to tweet us some stuff, use the hashtag... Oh, wait, I didn't do this tweet. Really quick, before we move on, I found the tweet that Mike was talking about with the cool meme. It was from a Twitter user named Dominic Paoletti at Dark Knight DVP24, and he put out, in honor of episode 4 of Cloverfields, I've created this masterpiece for use. And it's a bunch of little images. It's really funny. The first image is someone ringing a doorbell, and it says, Spling ding!
Spling ding!
And then it's a photo of Rob from the party at Cloverfield, and it says, who is it? And then the Cloverfield monster is in the third image, and it says, Cloverfields! And then the final one is Rob struggling with...
To hold the door shut.
Yeah.
I like it.
Anyway.
It's beautiful.
He's with the girl with the nice rack from the movie. Remember that?
I don't remember that.
Think about it.
Somebody, after that movie came out, somebody was like, oh, the hot girl from Cloverfields? And I'm like, what are you talking?
Oh,
I
they're all
was so
hot.
scared the whole time. Well, Lizzie Chaplin is... She's
Oh my
something
God.
else.
Can I tell you something, man?
I would love to just whisper it so not everybody knows. About
I went to an event once, a small screening of a show that a friend of mine was in, and Lizzie Kaplan was in it.
Yeah.
And she
Kaplan,
was...
not Chaplin.
It's Kaplan.
I said Chaplin, that's my mistake.
Charlie Chaplin. Are you thinking of Charlie Chaplin? Because now we got a problem.
Yes. I went to a party with Charlie Chaplin
Okay,
once.
well, let me tell you my story.
Okay.
Lizzie Kaplan was there, and I fucking love her. She's so great. She's so funny, and she's versatile, and she's talented.
Yeah.
And I saw her there, and I was like, oh my God, I've got to say something to Lizzie Kaplan, Marlena.
What do you say?
And I was
come
just,
here alone,
I don't know, I was
or-
a big dumb goofus. I just went over to her, and I was like, hey, I'm friends with Joe, or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And she was just like, oh, cool. And then she walked away.
Cool.
So anyway, that's my cool celebrity story. Lizzie
That's
Kaplan,
so awesome.
best.
I've
Okay.
never met her, and I almost feel like that's better.
Yeah, I wish I was in your position. Because she'll see me someday and be like, oh, not that guy.
Yeah. Oh, it's the I know Joe guy.
You were upset.
I was upset, remember, Owen? Yeah. I was kicking myself.
For how long?
For a good bit. Okay, so let's move on. Thank you for the tweets. If you want to tweet us some fun images or just whatever things you want to say about the show,
always
or things
checking
about the
it.
ARG, we are always checking, and we try to respond to every single damn person who tweets at us from @Cloverfeels, our official Twitter account. But if you want to send us some stuff, use the hashtag Cloverfeels, and we will find you.
I've been replying to people and then just putting my first initial. Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
so that they know it's you?
Yeah.
I don't think it matters, but
Usually
sure.
I say a lot of wrong shit.
Oh, so you don't want to misrepresent our brand?
I don't want you to be shit on because I'm coming up with theories that don't make any sense.
I don't mind, but if you want to get credit for funny things you're writing, then go right ahead and put your goddamn initial
I don't know
in
that
there.
I've been funny yet is the problem.
Okay, so on the Super Bowl, we got a new teaser.
There it is. Get it out. Put it in.
We got a new teaser for 10 Cloverfield Lane, and a lot of new shit happens.
Yeah.
It's very intense. It's very quick. And by the way, friends of mine who were unaware of 10 Cloverfield Lane at the office were like, out of all the trailers, the 10 Cloverfield Lane trailer was the coolest one.
Yeah.
Because all the other trailers are just like, same formula, explosions
trailer,
and fucking
right.
CG action all over the place. And using some classic song as a way to like make it seem cooler. And
Everything was by the band Lit. Lit's
right?
all over the trailers now.
Slowing down a pop song, so that it sounds cooler when you slow it down.
It's no surprise to me. I am that kind of thing. Yeah.
I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
You make me come.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
You make me complete.
So, anyway,
Lit.
So a lot of people were saying this trailer looks really cool. So I think that's a great testament. Great job, Paramount and Bad Robot.
Yeah. Also, instantly interesting was most of it's not in the Bunkier, which we previously thought the whole movie might be in the Bunkier.
No, we see Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I'm going to call her Mew from now on.
Sure,
We
I like
see,
that.
We see Mew driving a car, and it goes out of control, and she happens upon John Goodman, and all hell breaks loose. We get to take a look at her license plate, which seems to be from Texas. We get to see a hazmat suit that is hastily made out of a soda bottle and duct tape.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we also get to see one of the most controversial bits of the trailer, which is a strange, giant, glowing thing
behind the house
that appears from behind this big abandoned house.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are speculating, is it an organic light from some sort of anglerfish type creature?
It's probably an anglerfish, if we're being realistic about it.
If we're being real life about it. Is it a helicopter that's behind?
That was my first thought.
Is it perhaps the explosion from when they blasted Clovey with the nuke? Is it the start of a nuke?
And there's something we have to say to tie that particular theory in.
Right.
Later on.
Is it a new nuke?
A nuke.
A nuke.
Yeah.
Is it Clovey's mom or dad? Does Clovey's mom or dad have bioluminescence?
Bioluminescence.
As
that
a
kind that
feature.
does not need batteries.
That is a biological luminescence.
Yeah.
A biological light
Great.
created by organic material.
But you have to believe in something really hard to make it shine or something
You
like
gotta
that.
believe in Santa.
Good.
Or nothing bioluminescent. Nothing bioluminescent.
What company makes bioluminescence, you think?
There's no such thing as created bioluminescence.
Beautiful.
It's all from nature.
Good nectar.
Nectar. So yeah, there's a lot of speculation. Is it a helicopter? Is it,
A lion?
Is it a big robot? Is it like, a lot of people are freaking out. Is it a bad robot?
Yay.
But a lot of people have like really dug deep into that thing, and they're like, they've taken the footage and put it through post-processing and saw that there's like maybe some kind of head that looks like Clovey's head a little bit. But some people are saying it moves too smoothly to be a monster. It's moving too fluidly.
Do you have a theory?
I don't have a theory.
You just liked watching it.
I don't know. I hope. I have this fear that we're not going to see Clovey.
Okay.
At all.
Well, we already saw him. Know what he looks like.
Well, no, I'm saying in this one.
Right.
I have a theory we're not going to see Clovey at all.
Mm-hmm.
And we're maybe not going to be able to see what it is exactly that's making all those sounds. But we are hearing sounds in the trailer. And here's something else we haven't really talked about.
Yeah.
We are hearing sounds in the trailer that sound a lot like Clovey's roar.
Almost identical. Go ahead. Like that.
But like different, deeper, bigger. So could it be Clovey's dad or mom?
Yeah.
We know that Matt Reeves and Drew Goddard have teased the idea of Clovey being a baby.
Yeah. Like a lot of times.
Yeah, that was a big part of shit.
He's just a baby and he's scared in the city. And I read that exact quote recently. Like one of the first times he said it on what I think was CloverfieldClues.com. And he specifically said like looking for his parents.
Right, yeah, and looking for its mom and dad. Yeah.
Hey, what do you think of this?
What?
It's hard to see now because the screen went away, but I just beat Tetris again.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I did that the other day. What, you got to 15?
Yeah.
What, you want a hand job?
Congratulations, man.
It's
Owen
really
beat
hard.
Tetris.
It's hard. Owen beat Tetris, guys.
Wait, what was it? Word puzzle? No.
Block puzzle.
Block puzzle.
Owen beat Block Puzzle.
Congratulations.
But yeah, so we've heard that Clovey is a baby from official sources. So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
If it's really Clovey's mom or dad or something coming to get Mr. Grumpy Pants or pissed off.
Yeah, takes him by his ear, drags him back into the sea.
You go back to your room, young lady. But
him.
what's your theory? What do you think it is, Mike? Behind the house.
Immediately, I thought it was a helicopter, and that still leaves possibilities open through all this stuff. But then there was some activity on the RadioMan70 site where, if you remember, that was what we think is John Goodman's character trying to communicate with his daughter and going back and forth and leaving letters and stuff like that and correspondence. And there was an original letter and there's a new letter.
Right.
Which at
But
some point...
Go
What?
ahead. I'm sorry. Well, I was going to say, how does this fit into your theory of
Yeah,
what's
yeah, yeah.
behind the thing? It
At
does?
some point...
Oh, okay.
He says
sorry.
in there, that's okay. In some point he says in there something about like if you see a flash in the sky, that could be a nuclear bomb.
Oh, right, the
He
Soviets.
says something like that.
Something
Yeah.
about the Soviets.
Something
yeah.
about a flashing light in a Soviet situation in the new letter that came out yesterday, whatever it was. So then that's the first thing that came to my mind when I read that.
Well, that's very adorable,
So
Mike.
that might be an explosion. I hope it's not an explosion.
Well,
I hope that's not like the last thing you see in the movie, even though that would
I
be a
know,
good
right? That would be a big bummer because then we'd be like, what was it? And like we'd be all left in the dark. But I don't know if you remember, but when there were Cloverfield teaser trailers back when the first Cloverfield was coming out, there were like little moments where you could see a shadow or a leg or something.
yeah.
But even Paramount obscured those greatly. Like I remember they added like post smoke screen effects.
I didn't know that.
To shots that when you see them in the movie are very clearly the monster's leg or the monster's like body.
Right.
And in the trailers, it's like,
It could have been
I think the only thing you saw maybe in the trailer was like a tail flipping around. I remember there was this one image from a trailer that I was
between buildings.
yeah, it was like, and it's like kind of this thing that's flopping, and people were like, we still didn't know what the monster looked like at the time.
Right.
And people were like, oh my God, it looks like a dinosaur. It looks like a brontosaurus or something. But in truth, Paramount, either the effects weren't finished or Paramount decided to still conceal the monster completely, even in the trailer. So with that said, there is the possibility that what we're seeing is potentially something covered up.
Yeah.
So the thing popping up from behind the house could be an unfinished effect or potentially something that they've added a filter to so that we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to surprise us.
And that would be the smartest thing. Because they already know that there's so many people hooked on, like, what is it? What is it? Forever.
Right.
Which is why it's such a bum out if we didn't get to see something in a movie. Because all of the lead up to the movie is like, what the hell is going on? And then you want those questions answered by the movie itself. So that would be a bum out if that didn't happen.
Right.
But,
Anyway.
yeah.
So that's the trailer. Very exciting. We get another little sneak peek of the film, which is exciting. But back to the ARG.
Mm-hmm.
Something has happened.
Yeah.
The Fun and Pretty Things site, which we spoke greatly about in the last episode, the episode before last.
Yeah.
It turns out one of us was correct.
What did we say?
We kind of ended on the idea that maybe, or I think it was my idea actually, that the site is not meant for us to access.
Right. You're just supposed to be.
It's like we're viewing this chat between RadioMan70, John Goodman, and his daughter, Megan.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I think we're finally getting that proven to us, because now we've got another message from RadioMan70 that just popped up today. Mm-hmm. That would be yesterday.
And if they wanted to go here, this is funandprettythings.com.
Yes, you go to funandprettythings.com.
You click on
the picture of Molly Ringwald looking at the computer monitor. You type in, "Do you want to talk?"
Question mark.
And then you will access this chat page.
Right.
So last update, he was basically mentioning something about the Soviets and all this crazy shit, and you should get to the bunker if you can. And by the way, in that last message, there is a mention of, it's not like the money is gonna be good for money. It's right near you in Chicago. Talking about the bunker in Chicago. Mm-hmm. He says, "Do you remember your grandma's old house near the highway? It's in an empty lot right behind there. Could we be seeing that house in the trailer with the big thing behind it?" So in the first letter from RadioMan70,
he says,
at the very end, it says, "I understand it may be hard for you to get to me, or that there might not be enough time. So I had another safe place built just for you. It's not quite as big or nice as the one here, but it will keep you safe. It's been expensive to build, especially since I can't be there watching over the people I hired and make sure they do it right. But I'm paying them enough that they better. But no price is too high for you, and it's not like money is going to be good for much longer. It's right near you in Chicago. Do you remember your grandma's old house near the highway? It's in the empty lot right behind there. It'll be finished any day now. As soon as it is, I need you to get into it and lock the doors behind you." Mm-hmm. So maybe the house we're seeing in the trailer with the big light behind it is this house that John Goodman's character, RadioMan70, is referring to in the ARG here. And maybe while Mew is down there with John Goodman and the other guy, maybe John Goodman spills the beans about Megan. I think she's still alive. Maybe she made it to that bunker. I don't know.
Right.
But at some point, Mew figures out that something's wrong with John Goodman. She doesn't want to be down there anymore. She escapes.
So where do you think John Goodman is?
Well, John Goodman's with them in the big bunker that he's referring to here.
Right.
With Mew and the other guy.
Right.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead and the other guy. Mm. So remember in the first trailer, she escapes the bunker?
Yes.
So I'm thinking, this is just me thinking here, maybe in the movie, John Goodman talks a lot about Megan and says, "Oh, maybe she's alive, but we can't go out there, and I don't know what to do, and I can't get a hold of her." And maybe he explains to her where that bunker is.
Yeah.
And maybe once she feels like John Goodman went insane and we got to get out of here, we're trapped.
Yeah.
Maybe she goes out there, sees it's dangerous, doesn't want to go back to where John Goodman is, goes to this place.
Aren't we talking about the distance between Louisiana and
Chicago? Yes.
So you think she makes that trip in this movie?
Potentially.
Maybe.
But also, check this out. Maybe I'm wrong now. Because in the trailer, when you see the house with the big light behind it, there's actually a tree, a type of tree there.
Is that deciduous?
Is a Louisiana type tree.
Oh, okay.
So that's maybe I'm wrong. But it's interesting to think about how this other bunker is behind an old house.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing in the trailer is a light emitting from behind an old house.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Are you saying the one in the trailer has the tree, or the one in the poster?
The one in the trailer has a tree.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know. Either way, that's just my conjecture. By the way, remember also in that first email, there was a thing that said, "Keep checking this site, and I will help you prepare as much as you can." There was a link, but it went nowhere. Now it goes somewhere.
Somewhere different?
to an actual site.
Oh, interesting.
It takes you to funandprettythings.com/life preserving information.
Okay.
And it says RadioMan70. It's a very crude page. It says, hoping every day to hear from you, Radio Girl. The bunker I'm building for you is almost ready. You can go there. Or if you really want to be safe, you can always come home. I'll come and get you if you just give me the word. I know you like to be independent and not let your old dad fix things for you, and I respect that. But if you're going to come down, at least let me tell you a few things. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you should always have an escape plan that you can put into action at a moment's notice. Do you have a bug out bag? You really need to put one together before you take off. Bad things can happen wherever you are, and you should be prepared for anything. Here's a good guide for putting a bug out bag together. And it has a link to a place called survivalcache.com/bug out bag. And this is actually a real site that sells military type stuff and also bug out bags. And bug out bags are real things.
Yeah.
I have friends who have them, and it's kind of strange.
We have like preparedness kits,
which is a little bit better. Bug out bag has like weapons and shit in it, which makes me feel a little strange.
Yeah, I don't want to get that bugged out. I just want to be, just worried.
This one seems safer. This one has like a little diagram that maybe RadioMan70 drew, and it has like a backpack and what you should put in it, gas mask, and then it even has a little note here that any dad would put saying, watch your hair, doesn't prevent it from making a proper seal. There's water, crucial, stay hydrated, more important than food. Weapon, become familiar with this as it's your last resort. Poncho, flashlight, tarp, can be used for shelter or windbreak. Survival knife, you can sharpen a knife on a porous rock. Lay the blade flat on the rock. He describes how to do that. First aid kit, lighter, gas mask. Remember to start a fire, use small sticks and twigs first. It's much easier and efficient. Then it says, when you're ready to go, I'm sure you can find a way to get a hold of your mom's car keys. But if for some reason you can't, here's some good advice on how to get it running without them. But only use this if you have no other choice. It links you to a site called Survivalist Daily, and it shows you how to hotwire a car.
Dangerous.
Yes. And then there's a diagram on how to do that. And finally, if for some reason you can't get to your mom's car, then you can always take the train. Amtrak's got a route, the city of New Orleans, that goes from Chicago to Louisiana.
Okay.
There's a train every day at 8 p.m. that will get you to New Orleans the next afternoon. Tell me what day, and I'll be waiting to pick you up.
They don't give stops, do they?
There's no stops, but there is a link from Amtrak.com to City of New Orleans route guide. And it has a guide to all the routes. So now we know.
Would there be a way to trace that? Because that's probably a very specific line that makes that one trip.
Potentially, yeah. Maybe someone could have already figured it out by now.
And maybe trace it back to Chicago and the highway.
Well, but the thing is you wouldn't know whereabouts from the Amtrak station where they are. But you'd know, maybe you could potentially figure out the stops and such.
If he says you could always take the train, no, never mind.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have to be walking distance from the house.
It also says it would take about a day to get there.
Sure.
Or from 8 p.m. you'd get there the next afternoon, so that's 12 hours or something like that. And then it says, and also now we know the bunker is in Louisiana. Yeah, is in New Orleans
for sure.
The bunker is in New Orleans,
which would explain the swamp pop situation.
Yes. We knew it was in Louisiana, but we didn't know it was in New Orleans. And that's kind of cool.
Oh, no, you're right.
So it also says, while you're on your way, stay aware of your surroundings at all times. It could come from anywhere. If you see a big white flash in the sky, it's likely a nuclear attack.
Damn.
Get off the highway and get to a rural, unpopulated area as soon as possible. If it's a chemical or biological attack, stay in your car and stay away from people as much as you can. There will be no safety in numbers. You can pick up a gas mask from any surplus store, so make sure you get one for your bug out bag. Here's some more good info for you to review. And there's some more stuff about survival kits online and terrorism preparedness. Then he says, I don't think we have a lot of time. Things are heating up. And it's a link to an actual news article from gpsworld.com. Now check this out. This is referring to something specific. He says we don't have a lot of time and refers to this. U.S. Coast Guard issues GPS jamming alert. The U.S. Coast Guard issued a safety alert on January 16th, warning mariners of the potential detrimental impact to navigation caused by GPS interference or jamming. The warning emphasizes the importance of understanding how vessel equipment could be impacted by the loss of a GPS signal. So, what? Something's going on with GPS signals? Next it says, it's all connected. The North Korea angle is BS. We should be focusing on the Soviets. One link says, there's 2 links here after he says that. One link
Are
takes...
these all, like, branched off, like, fake sites?
No, these are real.
Damn.
As far as I know, they look real to me.
Who's writing this stuff?
RadioMan70.
Oh, okay, good.
It's all John Goodman's character.
Yeah.
To his daughter. So this is like no bullshit.
Right.
He says, this is BS. Pyongyang announces successful satellite launch. Okay. And another one he says is bullshit is from Yahoo News that says, post-game orbit. North Korea's new satellite does a Super Bowl flyover. This is real. This is real life.
Yeah.
This actually happened. At 8:26 p.m. after the game, they were saying North Korea's new satellite that they launched into space flew over the Super Bowl. And the North American Aerospace Command put out a response that said, I would put it down to nothing more than a coincidence, but an interesting one.
Yeah.
So John Goodman's character is saying, this is not the angle. This is bullshit. This is not what I'm worried about. The next thing he says is, here are a couple of sites I check regularly for irregular patterns or hidden coordination. We may not see anything here, but it doesn't hurt to check. The more info we gather, the more prepared we can be.
So obviously trying to get eyes on this site. To anyone else who knows how to do that kind of thing.
And here's what these 2 sites are. Space weather conditions,
Yeah.
www.swpc.noaa.gov, and interactive satellite tracking.
So that's his job. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what is he giving the information to his daughter for? What is she going to be able to do with this shit?
It sounds like just things to help her be prepared.
Maybe, but like check for irregular patterns or hidden coordination.
How would she even
unless he taught her this shit?
Yeah.
And then there's
Take
a
your
little
daughter under your wing and you
right?
scientific.
Honey, gonna teach you about satellites. Satellites.
It's around Christmas time, so
Time to learn about the birds and the bees and satellites.
And the satellite and the coordinations.
There's also a tiny little widget that shows you the current weather in Chicago, Illinois, which is 17 degrees.
Horrible.
Partly cloudy.
No, thank you.
And then at the bottom it says, come as quickly as you can, but don't take a plane. If something happens while you're on a plane, then there's nowhere for you to escape to. Love, Dad.
Love, Dad.
Love, Dad.
Sleep tight. Love, Dad.
Okay, so here's the thing I haven't read yet. This is something I haven't read yet. That's not even the next message.
Oh.
From RadioMan70.
I thought the first thing you read with the, if you see this in the sky.
That's from the first message.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. That's
I
from
haven't read the second
That's
message.
the link that you couldn't click on in the first message.
Right.
Now you can click on it and it has all this bug out bag shit.
Crazy.
So Paramount must have been waiting because there would have been a lot of shit to give us in one day.
Yeah.
So maybe they were waiting. So there's a new message straight to Megan from RadioMan70, not detailing any survival shit, as far as I know. And here's what it says. Dear Megan, you haven't replied to my last message yet. I guess your mom is watching you pretty closely, huh? I suppose we should feel sorry for her, since she's one of those people so blinded by their prejudices, so brainwashed by what everyone around her is saying, she won't listen to the truth. I hope you know that's the reason behind those things she says about me. I know you're smart enough to see through it. This is starting to sound crazy. starting to sound like a crazy person.
Sounds like somebody who would be hit in the face with a bottle halfway through a movie, you think?
Could be.
Yeah.
Just come down here. Say the word and I'll pick you up. There's a train that leaves Chicago every afternoon for New Orleans, and I will get you from the station. I can even wire you the money for a ticket if you need it, but don't take a plane. It'll be too dangerous. You have to come quickly. If I'm alive underground while I know that you didn't make it, I won't be able to live with myself. I can stock the shelter with anything you want, as much of it as you like. I've already made sure to stock up on enough ice cream to last you a year. Mint chocolate chip always seemed to make you happy. All I want is for you to be safe and happy, radio girl. If you can't find me when you get here, I'll already be down there. The entrance is back behind the house.
So there's that
Love,
again.
Dad.
Yeah.
So
It's starting to sound a little bit more desperate.
right?
For sure.
Because it's his daughter. I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
But hold on a minute here, Mike Falzone.
I will. I'm not going anywhere.
Sit down.
Okay.
Don't get up.
What? Give me a second, and I'm down.
He has a place to put ice creams. Mint chocolate chip, to be honest, and
Yeah.
quite specific.
Yes.
So, remember when we were talking about how there's no way he could have Slusho down there?
I take back everything that I said about
You
that.
son of a butch. You scrum of a bus.
How was I supposed to know that
I
this
mean,
guy's
you're right.
hoarding,
I'll give you
hoarding
that.
cream?
I'll give you that. Also, maybe he does have some seabed nectar down there.
Maybe that's in a big blue bin.
And maybe that's what makes him go kookaburra. Maybe that's what makes him lose his shit.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's the reason why he gets a bottle to the face. Maybe that's why Mew hits him. Interesting stuff here. So, people are going bugaboo.
Yeah.
They're talking all about, what does this mint chocolate ice cream thing mean? What does this thing mean?
Have people tried that for the,
What was the secret gift I gave you?
yeah,
No.
mint chocolate ice cream? What a shitty secret gift that would be. I bought you ice cream, the same ice cream I
Yes, a
buy all the
secret
time.
ice cream just for you.
It's in the basement. That's how you get it.
So shit, yeah, maybe the trailer, maybe the house in the trailer with the big glowing light behind it is the entrance to the shelter. So maybe that's the shelter we're in the movie behind that broken down house. Because in this
Right.
message he says, if I'm not in the house, I'm in the shelter already. It's behind the house.
And that's the one that seems huge.
Right. And that's the one in New Orleans. And these trees in this shot with the big glowing thing behind the house
Yeah.
are in New Orleans, in Louisiana.
Yeah.
So maybe something happens in the shelter. Maybe John Goodman is just like, fuck it, we can't let this shit get out there, and he just fucking self-destructs the place.
You know,
And maybe that's what that is. Maybe it's like a big energy explosion.
you think he self-destructs the place?
Maybe because, like, he sees her leave, he realizes Megan isn't alive anymore. Maybe he's just like, you know what, fuck it. There's no reason to live. I don't know. Just a
Maybe.
theory.
It's interesting. You know what I've been thinking of recently is I feel like this whole thing is a huge distraction from the other guy in the basement. Like, what's the
Yeah,
other
nobody's
guy's
talking
deal?
about him at all.
That's why I think he has such a huge part. He has to. He either dies quickly,
Right?
or he has a huge part to play. In
My
this thing.
assumption is that he's already there in the bunker.
Waiting for John Goodman.
No, my theory is...
Can't wait until King Ralph gets back.
My theory is John Goodman and this kid are already down in the shelter. And Mew gets into the car wreck. Goes out looking for help. Help!
Maybe he gets into a car wreck with the dude because he's in a sling.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he's with her? Yeah, sure. Help,
No,
help.
I mean, like, that's
Oh,
who
maybe that's how she got
hits
into
her.
a wreck.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
hit
yeah.
the poor kid. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
Or so yeah, maybe he isn't down there already. But maybe she's like, she needs help. She doesn't know what the fuck's going on. John Goodman sees her. Hurry up, get in here quick.
Yeah.
And then that's what starts the movie.
Okay. Good.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
I haven't seen that shit essay I don't fucking know nothing. I ain't got no inside shit. So, yeah, I don't know what the kid's deal is. He's barely in the trailer. It's clearly focusing on Mew.
Makes me nervous.
Makes me scared.
He's around the fart bin, fart basket, looking dangerously the fart basket, which of course has John Goodman's farts in it, or the character he plays.
John Goodman is America's fart basket.
I can't wait to see what kind of art people come up with for what you just said.
Also, check this out. Did you know that there's another trailer?
Another one?
Yeah, with Deadpool. And we're seeing Deadpool tonight.
Like a crossover?
No, it's a trailer. You know when you go to the movies and they play trailers before the movie?
So there's a new
Cloverfield trailer
Deadpool.
before you see Deadpool.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, that's what everyone's saying.
That is not what I thought you were talking about just now.
There's a Deadpool Cloverfield crossover.
I thought this was a completely different... Did you know that there's another movie trailer out and it's a Deadpool movie trailer?
Did you know that I love you? So people are already talking about it. They're saying, just saw the trailer at an AMC. There was an image flashed after the title popped up. It seemed to be a drawing of a man, maybe in a hole, holding something above his head with both arms. Mm-hmm. I couldn't see the details, but I hope this helps. What?
Take a picture or something weird? There's an image that flashed...
So here we go. Other people are saying, saw the trailer at Cinemark. Image appeared to be a sock monkey at first, and only glance. I believe there are 4 clues in the new batch of trailers. So people are saying there are like images that flash after each trailer.
Sock monkey.
One was a sock monkey. One was a drawing of a dude holding something up.
How do you know something is a sock monkey a thing that I don't know about?
A sock monkey is basically kind of like a character, or is it just kind of like a timeless little teddy bear type thing? That
and it's called specific. Everyone knows it as sock monkey.
Yeah, I think so. It's like a bit of Americana, I think.
Somebody type that into the shit, because that's something that you would give to a small girl.
Very nice. Okay, well let's see if let's try that in just a second. Some of these other people on the subreddit are saying that makes 3 we've heard about then. So people are saying there are now 3 different images that have flashed after the Cloverfield trailer. Mm-hmm. Someone said we still need Cinemark. We have new information that the AMC trailer is a 5th designated 1A. I had assumed that 1A was the original recut on the website. That is 141, but this may not be the case. What they're saying is that, so this all came about because someone posted over on some superhero thread or superhero subreddit that a new Batman versus Superman trailer is debuting with the Deadpool movie.
Cool.
So movie theaters, when they're going to put out, when they get the film reels to put on the screen, they also get a little document that shows them which trailers they're supposed to play before the movie, and then they'll usually get like a hard drive or some other method of showing those trailers.
Yeah.
And each theater gets different stuff depending on the demographic, depending on this and that, studio preference, things like that. So on that sheet of paper, it also said, as well as there being a Batman versus Superman trailer, and as well as like a Zoolander thing, there's also a new Cloverfield trailer.
Yeah.
But it also had a number next to it, like 1A or like 4A.
Right.
So people were thinking, what does that mean? Is there more than one trailer playing in different theaters?
Right.
So that's kind of what's happening. It seems that there is more than one trailer. Maybe it's the same trailer, but at the end there's a new image.
Yeah. Dude, we said this today in the middle of the day, but from the beginning of this podcast and our shared friendship in Cloverfield, we were like, how could they ever recreate something like the first? And they did it.
They did it.
Like a lot.
We're currently living through a new ARG that could be just as fun and immersive as the first one.
Not could be. We have a podcast about it. It's there, I think.
God, it's happening.
Swamp Pop is in game. Turns out.
Get out of my house.
Come on, man.
This is my house.
Come on, man.
I want you out of here. Don't let my dog get angry.
Your dog hasn't moved in a long time, man.
She's been sedated. We can't have her running around during the podcast.
Imagine if this was like real and could run
that
around.
Big? That'd be terrifying.
It would be.
Imagine how strong this thing looks. Like it's strong.
Yes.
We could probably snap this bitch in half. Or like,
I said that looking at a rotisserie chicken last night.
Grumpy Pants! No!
Bad.
I'm gonna put you in the freezer.
Put Owen down.
I'm gonna put you in the freezer.
You pick him up by his little torso.
You're right, man. Good point. We are currently experiencing an ARG potentially as cool as the first one.
Yeah.
I still miss Slusho, though, a lot.
There's a
piece of my heart
that's
that
probably
just
not
so loves Slusho. And by the way, when we have a lull in the podcasts, because we are putting these out every Monday and Friday, I want to do a whole episode about all the appearances of Slusho in movies and TV shows. And there's actually a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's even a really cool one in Super 8. I'll give you a little teaser. In Super 8, which takes place in the 80s, there's like a cool 80s Slusho logo.
Oh, it's like all retro?
Yeah, it looks retro.
That's cool.
It's cool. Anyway, we'll talk about that. But, yeah, man, this is really fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming in the next couple of days...
Can I just make one small point?
Sure.
Tarugato.
Tagruato.
Why do I have never known.
You're fine.
I still don't know.
You will.
Speaking of crossover, there was a Tagruato building in the beginning of the Star Trek.
Yeah.
Why do you think that was?
Because J.J. Abrams thinks it's interesting and fun and makes it mysterious to say that Tagruato is a corporation that is part of his universe. Mm-hmm. His, movie universe.
Right.
So putting that in there assumes that Tagruato would be, almost like a Microsoft or an Apple corporation.
Okay, just to get you seeing it.
Yeah, just to see that it's still around even in the future of Star Trek.
Sure.
Which doesn't make sense because if they're responsible for the fucking Cloverfield attack, then wouldn't they go under? Why would they still be around?
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, yes. So this is what I'm thinking. We'll wrap this up. In the next couple of days, we're going to get everybody putting their trailers they've seen together, remembering what their images were that they saw, and then potentially unlocking a new element to the game. Potentially, these images in some sequence will unlock a website we haven't seen yet. Perhaps it'll lead to some sort of new product. Some fun thing that's in the game. I don't know, but Paramount's playing along, and I like it.
Yeah, very
Bad
much
Robot's
so.
playing the game. We're playing the game. It's a lot of fun. And so I want to end on this. There is a post on r/10 Cloverfield Lane started by someone named Clemson_19. And it says this: I just wanted to express my gratitude to Bad Robot and Paramount for doing all of this for a relatively small group of nerds and film enthusiasts. It makes each day more interesting, so thank you. Also, thank you to the Lille boys, Steve Zaragoza and Mike Falzone for Cloverfeels.
That's
Awesome
really
job,
cool.
guys. Isn't that great?
Thank you for listening and for caring enough to tell other people about it.
And it's just this really nice thing. I really hope the people at Paramount and Bad Robot see that and hear this podcast and know that maybe it is a relatively small group of people. Maybe it isn't. Maybe there's a lot of lurkers and listeners that aren't necessarily speaking out or are being active currently. But those numbers will show up in the box office when the movie comes out.
Yeah.
And, it is really cool. I want to take a moment to just kind of... We've expressed our appreciation for the people who are behind the ARG before, especially when Chelsea was on.
Yeah.
And when she told us about how her company worked on the ARG, some of the ARG. But it is amazing that they're doing this. It's free. They don't have to do it. It's extra work.
Yeah.
And they don't do it for every movie. But it's so special that it's a new Cloverfield that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That I'm still so excited about. And there's a lot of fun shit going on. We're digging into this Fun and Pretty Things site. We're looking at bug out bags and fun shit.
Yeah.
And we're learning about satellites and all sorts of weird shit. And it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, man. They're recreating and recapturing this movie-going experience that's been, not the same since the internet came out.
Agreed.
And now they use the disruption of the internet to give you a similar immersive feeling. It's really cool.
Yeah, and it's just you're right, man. You said it yourself. They've recaptured it, and I've been weary to say that it's the same. But fuck it, man. It's the same.
It's all right, man.
It is. It's
I
the
feel
same.
like eventually
it is.
You get tired of being
being a grumpy
Everything sucks.
Listen, man, we talked about what hurt me. I've been fooled too many times.
I get it.
But man, you're right. It is. It is just like it.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm an older man now, and I just really, again.
Hey, don't let your heart die, sweet sunshine
not yet.
pants.
And I won't let the sun go down
Good.
on me.
Well, great.
But also, man, seriously, like, the lack of slush show bums me out.
I get
But that's
it.
the only thing. But other than that, you're right, man. We've done it.
Well, maybe they'll hear this since certain members of their team are following our podcast. All right? The director.
Yeah, Dan Trachtenberg.
All kind of Bad Robot.
Yeah.
They might hear that and be like, okay, well, we've captured everyone's heart and spirit but Steve. So now let's toss
So now let's make Steve happy. By the way, here's a fun bit of info. When I was invited to the Star Trek premiere in Hollywood, and that's not really a humble brag. But, and I'll explain the story of how that happened, and I'll talk about that stupid Jade. I mean, I'm sorry I'm saying it's stupid, but if you've ever watched my stuff on SourceFed, Table Talk, I've said this story a million times, but for those of you that don't care about SourceFed and don't care to watch that, and for Mike, who's never heard it, on another slow episode, I'll talk a little bit about how I met J.J. Abrams and my Slusho car in detail and stuff like that. But that led me to going to the Star Trek premiere, and at the Star Trek premiere, after the movie, at the after party, they had like this great spread with food and drinks and shit.
Yeah.
And they had a slusho machine.
And it was real.
And they had these cups. I have a cup here on our desk where we're podcasting that has the Slusho logo on it, and I stole 2 cups.
As you should.
Actually, I stole 3, and I gave one to Chelsea years ago.
Awesome.
But, yeah, and I drank actual Slusho. It was just blue icy, but it
How
was
could
good.
you even expect anything to get better after that? You
I
had
know,
the
it's
best
really cool.
possible experience.
I know, and it made me think for a while, too, like, how much do those slushy machines even cost?
Somebody bought them. Somebody tweeted us that they bought a slushy machine to make slushy.
No way.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of making one that has like the Slusho logos on it. And
You
stuff.
should do that.
Anyway.
And have it in this apartment because this is the most fitting place for
And
us.
also, the summertime is coming.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to get hot out here in the valley.
It's hot in the wintertime.
I know.
Wintertime.
You're right. It's fucking February and it's 80 degrees.
Sucks.
All right. Anyway, guys. This is exciting. More fun things have happened in the ARG. We've got some crazy stuff going on. Thank you all. Everyone who's been saying nice things about us. We love you all. We love you guys on the subreddit, 10 Cloverfield Lane, the subreddit r/Cloverfields. We love the people that have been tweeting, that have been sending us messages, and eventually cookies. And you guys are awesome. You know what, man? Let's fucking do a meetup at some point.
Yeah,
and let's all
man.
just fucking hang out. And you know what? Maybe after the movie comes out, let's do like, for those of you that are in LA, let's all go see the movie together.
That'd be great.
We're working on like potentially like, I don't even want to put this out there because it'll probably never happen. But I'm working on maybe talking to some Paramount people about us doing like a fun screening with us, but like
Yeah.
we're not big enough in any way to make anything like that happen.
Well, maybe we'll have some kind of viral sensation between then and now.
We'll get an exclusive.
Yeah.
And they'll come straight to us.
Maybe we'll be in a movie between then and now. How great would it be for both of the people who listen to this podcast?
All 3 people.
All 3 of them. If they went to go
Including my
see
mom.
the movie and we were in it.
And we're like radio DJs or
Yeah.
something? Well, someone tweeted at me, when the movie is done and you guys are like in a lull, you should do an episode that's like in universe.
Yeah, we talked about that before we even started this.
Let's
that the
do
whole
it.
podcast
In
would be in
fact,
universe.
You're right, Mike.
I
And this
would
is a bit of
love
information
that.
for you guys. When we were tossing around the idea of doing this podcast, one of the ideas is that we were going to be in universe. You're right. And we were going to be like in our own bunker broadcasting out to
Shitty
people.
comedians.
Yeah, we
who
were just-
couldn't go to open mic anymore, so they
Right, but I mean, we thought about it, but then thought about how boring it would be because we wouldn't be able to talk about the ARG, and we
Yeah.
wouldn't technically have internet down there. So how
Nope.
would we have any news or
a lot
whatever?
of
Anyway,
holes. A lot of holes in that
a
story.
lot of holes. But hey, maybe we're writers and comedians. Maybe we could write a little radio play and do like a fun thing where we're in the universe and we're
Yeah.
trying to figure shit out. Okay, well, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to send us questions, comments, or changes, or you want to correct us for saying dumb shit, or if you want to yell at me, you can use the hashtag Cloverfeels on Twitter, or you can go to r/Cloverfeels on Reddit and state your claim there. Or, like, you can do what some other people have been doing and hit me up on my Facebook fan page, Steve Zaragoza. And I'm sure, Mike, you have some stuff like that, too, where they can reach out to you, too, right?
All kinds of things. Then you just put my name in the internet, and then that shit shows up.
Yeah, find a way to get us some information and some fun stuff, because we love interacting with you guys, and we love you guys. And I absolutely think we should do a fun screening in LA. If you guys live in LA, we can all meet some of you guys that we've never met before and such, and that'd be really fun. And but yeah, you guys are great. Thank you so much for listening. And you can find Mike Falzone at Mike Falzone.
Yeah.
And on all other social media platforms using the name Mike Falzone. And the same for me, Steve Zaragoza at Steve Zaragoza. You can find me on the web. And we'll see you guys on Monday.
Thank you guys for listening.
Good night.
That was a HeadGum podcast.